to tell you that was a bad beat last night with the Cavs getting 7.5. You're up 22 in the fourth quarter, and not only do you blow it and lose the game in overtime, but you don't cover the spread. I mean, that's the most embarrassing loss ever. Now, I'm a huge Knicks fan. I want the Knicks to win, but I don't make bets based on who I love and who I like and who I watch and who I root for. You know that by now. So that was a play on Cavs being in the rhythm and playing, and the Knicks not playing for 9 days, whatever it was, and that they would be off. And they were off. I was right about that. They were off bad. The whole game, they were getting their ass beat by the Cavs. Cleveland has no excuse in the world other than Harden sucks dick that they lost that game. I mean, he had 6 turnovers. He was awful. They cannot blow that game. Now, I know that people will think that the series is over because the Knicks won the game. And the crowd at the Garden was going crazy. That place was lit on its ear. But just remember, they were up 22. Just remember, they dominated the whole game. Remember that because they obviously can beat the Knicks. They obviously know how to score and finish against the Knicks and their vaunted defense. Know that. So let's just look at what happened in terms of the final was 115-104. Brunson led the comeback. Down 22 in the fourth. They were down 93-71. Brunson went crazy. He attacked Harden and sparked an 18-1 run and turned it into a game. They tied it at 1-0-1-0 on a basket with 19 seconds left in reg. And Thursday night, they'll play game 2, same spot. The Knicks opened the overtime with a 9-0 run. Place is going crazy. Bridges had 18. And 3 Knicks scored 13, including OG Anunoby. Mitchell had 29 for the Cavs. The Knicks outscored them 44-11 after they were up 93-71. And they won their 8th straight game, the Knicks, in the postseason. So they were 4 of 23 on threes through 3 quarters and then had a horrible start to the fourth. But after they gave up that 14-point lead with 2.5 minutes left in the Eastern Conference Finals last year in Game 1 against Indiana, losing in overtime, they didn't let it happen this time. They were the victims, but they came roaring back, and then they just absolutely schooled them. The only bigger fourth quarter playoff comeback in the last 30 years was when the Clippers rallied from 24 down to beat Memphis in Game 1 in 2012. The Knicks came back from 20 points behind 3 times last year in the postseason. Those were their largest comebacks on record since 69-70 when they won the first of their 2 NBA titles. They won it in 70 and 73. Mobley had 15 and 14. Harden had 15 but was 1 of 8 on threes and had more turnovers, 6, than field goals, which he had 5. Baseball, Atlanta rallied past Miami in an early game, 8-4. Acuna back, scored 3 times. Cleveland cashed a ticket for us, 4-3 over the Tigers. They survived the 9th inning scare. Bazana, a 2-run homer, and Cade Smith pitched out of the jam in the 9th. Since he beat Philly and cooled him off, Chase Burns, 9 strikeouts for the Reds. Tampa 4-1 over Baltimore. Yandy Diaz homered in that one for the Rays. They're 32-15. The Mets got cooled off by the Nats, 9-6. James Woods, an inside the park homer. I'll play it for you. Yankees survived 5-4 over the Blue Jays. They were up 3-0. The Jays were. The Yankees tied them up at 3s. And then eventually took a lead and beat them. Milwaukee, in that game, by the way, Rice and McMahon with home runs. I think McMahon's was the 3-run shot. Milwaukee 5-2 at Wrigley over the Cubs. Mizorowski dominant again, 6 strong innings. Turang 3 of 4. Boston 7-1 over Kansas City. Duran and Contreras drive in 3 each for the Bo Sox. Houston 2-1 over Minnesota at Target Field. Padres 2-run homer in the first inning carries them there, the Astros. And Paredes hit the 2-run homer in the first inning. St. Louis in 10 walked it off 9-6 over the Pirates. Herrera's 3-run homer wins it at Busch. Texas 10-0 over Colorado. I mean, they schooled them. Rocker, career high 7 2/3. Nimmo homered in that one for the Rangers as well. A's all over the Angels in Anaheim 14-6. Kurtz 5 RBIs. Galoff and Rooker home runs for the A's as well. White Sox 2-1 in Seattle. Benintendi's 9th inning single gives the White Sox a win. Dodgers winners 5-4 over the Padres. They got a run off Mason Miller in the 9th. First time he hasn't closed a game out. Dodgers win. And Arizona 5-3. Marte, a game-winning 3-run homer with 2 outs in the 9th for the Snakes in the desert. Here's what's happening on a midweek Where Do You Hurt Wednesday. Game 2, NBA Western Conference Finals. Spurs up 1-0 after their overtime win. San Antonio getting 6.5, 216.5. It's on NBC at 8:30. Baseball, Dayball, Brian Dayball. Cincy at Philly at the bank. Abbott and Costello against Nola. Baltimore and Tampa at 110. Boz and Mats. Your boy Mats. Anyway, 140. Houston and Minnesota. Burrows. Joe Burrow against Nolan Ryan. 310 Texas at Colorado. Al Leiter against Freeland. 340 San Francisco at Arizona. Everyone loves Molly against Merrill Lynch Kelly. 410 White Sox in Seattle. Sean Burke, the goalie, against Hancock in Seattle. 640 under the lights, Cleveland at Detroit. Bybee against Anderson. 640 Atlanta at Miami. Chris Sale against, I got your junk right here. 645 Mets at Nats. Littell for the Nats. Nobody announced for the Mets. 705 Toronto at the Yankees. Yusevich against Schlittler. It doesn't get any better than that. 740 Milwaukee and the Cubs at Wrigley. Harrison Ford against Cabrera. Miggy Cabrera. 740 Boston at Kansas City. Quinn Early against Waka Waka Waka. 745 Pittsburgh at St. Louis. Ledzinski against Governor McGreevy. 840 Dodgers and Padres at Petco, Otani and Vasquez. And 938 A's and Angels. Savali against Kokanowitz in Anaheim. NHL Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals at the Ball Arena in the Mile High City in Denver. It's the Avs and the Vegas Golden Knights. Colorado minus $193, 6.5 is the total. It's time for Fast Forward for All in Your Facial, where we talk about everything that matters and shit that doesn't matter. James Harden last night, I told you, 5 field goals made, 6 turnovers. He's recorded more turnovers than field goals in over 25% of his career playoff games. Here is the comeback, all of it, by the Knicks at the Garden last night.
Was pointing to the Knicks were going to get him from Utah, and then the Cavs swooped in and made the deal as Brunson, the floater, gets it to go.
This crowd has not gotten into it. They've been waiting on it, but the Knicks have just not been able to string together baskets.
Shamit knocks down the 3. The Knicks, meanwhile, trying to put together what would be a thrilling comeback, but it's been all Cavs here in the second half. Brunson drives on Harden, gets inside, finds Towns. Towns reverse and backs it home.
The Knicks, they're within range. It only takes a couple of shots to put that pressure back on the Cavaliers.
Brunson drives on Wade, scoop layup, it's good. Beautiful shot from Brunson.
This is the best Knicks team that I've seen
Now it's
since my
93-80.
time in the league. Well balanced, well coached.
But still trailing. Brunson banks it home again.
94-82.
Brunson guarded by Harden, wants to clear out. Fakes, drive, gets inside, pull-up jumper, got it!
Down 10.
Jalen Brunson has come alive, and the Knicks are back within 10. Brunson against Harden, almost pokes it away. Shot clock at 10, Brunson drives. Pulls up, shot is up, back shot is good! The Brunson burner has been lit. It's an 8-point game.
94-86.
Cavs might want a timeout if he scores.
Brunson, three-pointer, puts it in! Cap Brunson clutches.
94-89.
Merrill's on him. Brunson gets inside. Kicks it out in the corner to Bridges. Shot clock at 4. Bridges looking. Shot clock at 1.
Oh,
Bridges
step
puts it
back.
to 3. Puts it in. It's back to a 4-point game.
97-93.
Good defense from Merrill. Brunson drives. Kicks it in the corner. Bridges three-pointer. Bang!
Oh, corner pocket.
Ananobi floats it over
99-96.
three-pointer.
Shamet rolls in a 3. It bounces around and goes in.
Back to a 2-point lead. 26 seconds remaining.
Don't want to give up a 3.
Brunson with Harden on him. Brunson on the drive. The floater bank shot. It's good.
And the
Picks
kiss.
up Brunson. Brunson brilliant in that fourth quarter.
Overtime.
Drives, gets past Harden, gets inside. The floater's up and good.
Floater.
Jalen Brunson once again, and it's a 4-point Knicks lead. Brunson drives on Harden, kicks it out. Ananobi fakes. Ananobi drives, goes inside, stops, banks it home.
Oh. They're up 6.
Brunson cross court.
Shamet.
Puts it up. Puts it in. A 9-point lead. Timeout Cavs. Bedlam here and not.
You get the gist of it. They kicked their ass. That's all there was to it. Here's the Cardinals walk-off home run.
JJ takes off. Swing and a drive. Deep left field. That's going to do it in a big way. 3-run walk-off homer.
There you go. It's so exciting. He hit the home run. Everybody's screaming and yelling. Here's after the game, Brunson and
the three of you, can you talk about
Bridges
what it was like to be a part of what seemed like a
and
made miracle
Towns.
at the Garden?
I mean, it's always special when you give your fans something to cheer for, and for us to, it's been a tough go around for them for the first 3 quarters of the game, and for us to come in that huddle and with the energy of the fans and the fans really showing us so much love and support to give them something to cheer for in the fourth. It's
It
always
was
an honor.
so
It's a
insane.
privilege to be able to do, and this team, all we want to do is make the city proud and bring the city wins, and to be able to accomplish that tonight, in a night where it didn't seem like it was going to happen, is an honor, and it's truly something special.
There you go. That was Towns basically sitting with Brunson and Bridges. Here's Marte's walk-off homer.
First. Marte, a fly ball. Guess what? The Diamondbacks win it.
Crazy. Down to their last pitch, and he hits that. So there you go. That 44-11 run, by the way, by the Knicks. No other team in the NBA in the last 20 years has scored at least 44 of the game's final 55 points. But the Knicks did it last night. Devils confirmed that Sheldon Keefe is staying as head coach. Here's the James Woods Nats inside the park homer.
Out to left center. This ball is rocked. Into the gap at the top of the wall. 2 outfielders look at themselves and don't find the baseball. Here comes James Wood. Rounding third and heading home.
Safe. Inside the park grand slam breakfast. Bo Bichette last night. How about this guy, Bo Bichette? Here's his first home run of the night. Let me see if I can get it. Hopefully I'll get this thing.
Bichette. And Bichette drives one in deep right center. Back goes Cruz back near the wall, and it's out of here. Bo Bichette with a 2-run homer, his second in 2 nights.
Yeah, so second in 2 nights. And how about this? How about his third in 2 nights?
And he hangs the leg, and Bichette flies one deep to left. Back goes Lyle near the wall. It's out of here. Bo Bichette strikes again.
That's his second of the night for Bo Bichette. Here's Trey Turner of the Phillies, but they didn't win.
And discipline on a high fly ball to deep left field. Trey Turner has left the yard.
There you go, but they lost the game, so it doesn't matter. How about this chick at McDonald's? Did you see the chick working at McDonald's? She's the manager in Boston at a McDonald's. She's facing criminal charges after she was seen on video licking and spitting on French fries, licking all the French fries and then spitting in the French fries, and then giving it to a customer who turned out to be her ex-girlfriend. You can't make it up. The Phillies are the first team since the 51 Giants to go from 10 games under 500 to 2 games over 500 until they lost last night. In the first 48 games of a season, the 1951 Giants won the pennant. Jason Kidd fired as the coach in Dallas of the Mavericks. Eminem's ex-wife blew 3 times the legal limit in her latest DUI arrest. Have you seen that chick's mugshot and how she looks? She looks like she got hit with a bat. Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro, the UFC owners, are joining the NFL Owners Club with a minority stake purchase of the Raiders. The ownership stake is less than 10% for each. But Egan Durbin, another business partner with Endeavor and TKO, is upping his stake from 10 to 22%. Like, Mark Davis is selling off pieces of the Raiders, but their valuation is $9 billion. Police say a recent PFL, the Professional Fight League fighter, he's not on the cards anymore. He doesn't fight for him, but he was a PFL fighter. Logan Storley was arrested naked outside of a strip club in Florida. Isn't that lovely? The Blazers reportedly laid off 70 employees. Wow, everybody and their brother's getting fired up in Portland. Arsenal won the Premier League because Man City tied Bournemouth yesterday. So the Gunners win the Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. The NFL has approved the ability to play up to 10 international games per season. They're just going to end up playing 18 games. You know it. Schlitz beer. Everybody loves Schlitz malt liquor from Milwaukee. They used to have a huge Schlitz towers, 6 towers outside of Chicago and East Gary or whatever, East Chicago, Illinois. They had this brewery as well as one in Milwaukee. They're shutting down after 177 years. Everybody loves Schlitz beer. I always joke about Schlitz beer on Pharrell Unplugged. Garrett Cole's going to make his season debut on Friday night for the Yankees. He's back. Hasn't pitched since the World Series in 24. Cam Scattaboo says he'll be ready to go week 1. Remember, he blew out his knee. The next 4 Super Bowl locations, they're already booked. You know that, right? 27 at SoFi in Lipstick City. That's this year. 28 in Atlanta, at Mercedes-Benz. 29 back in Cincinnati, beautiful down in Las Vegas, at Allegiant in Vegas. And then 2030 in Nashville. What else? Adam Scott is officially qualified to be in the U.S. Open at Shinnecock, marking his 100th straight majors start. That's crazy. Kim Kardashian's Skims line denies any connection to the cocaine smuggling operation. One of the shipments of Skims had a ton of cocaine in it, and the feds caught it. She had nothing to do with it. They had nothing to do with it. This guy Rice for the Chiefs, the receiver, he's got nothing but problems. Rashee Rice, the wide receiver, booked into a Dallas County jail yesterday. He's going to serve 30 days. He was busted smoking weed. He was high while driving. And Michigan forward Morez Johnson Jr. staying in the NBA draft. The Canucks fire head coach Adam Foote. A new study shows nationally that the Vegas Golden Knights are the most hated team in the NHL, believe it or not. They play tonight. Southampton has been expelled from the championship playoffs. Middlesbrough will now replace them as finalists against Hull City on Saturday at Wembley. Finalists in the championship. They replaced them, Southampton. They were busted filming the other team's practices. Spygate. From June 11th to July 19th, bars and restaurants in Ontario will be able to stay open until 4 a.m. and serve booze and beer so fans can come together and cheer on Canada and celebrate the World Cup. They made that an order by the Prime Minister. Dobish, the Canadians goalie, was 3-0 with a 92 save percentage and 267 goals against the Canes in the regular season. He stopped 41 of 43 shots in a 5-2 win on March 19th and then 34 of 35 shots in a 3-1 win on March 29th. 2 of the Hurricanes' 4 losses in their last 23 games were to Dobish. They played Montreal in the Eastern Conference Final. And the Knights, speaking of Vegas, they lost their appeal of the NHL imposed sanctions for not talking to the media after that game in their last series, where Tortorella closed the doors to the locker room and didn't send anyone out and did no interviews. They got fined. He got fined $100,000, the coach, and they lost a second-round draft pick. Did you see Ben Simmons? He's a fisherman, and his fishing team won the Walker's Cay Blue Marlin Open. South Florida Sales is his fishing team, and they won it, the tournament. At least he won that because he never won shit in the NBA. July 11th will feature 2 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals and the Conor McGregor-Holloway fight at UFC 329. Carlos Alcaraz has withdrawn from Wimbledon. He's already out of the French Open. Now he's out of Wimbledon. He's got that wrist problem. Caitlin Clark will be the Grand Marshal at Sunday's Indianapolis 500. Ronaldo and Messi going to be in the World Cup again. Here's their numbers. Ronaldo for Al Nassr in the Saudi League, 147 games, 150 goals and assists, 127 goals, 23 assists, 32 penalties, no trophies. Messi at Inter Miami, 103 games, 138 goals and assists, 90 goals, 48 assists, 5 penalties, and 4 trophies. Who's the better player? Messi will become the first player ever to feature in 6 World Cup tournaments. Guards closing out the game the other night in the Thunder Spurs series. Harper 6'5", Castle 6'6", Vassell 6'5", Shea 6'6", Caruso 6'5", and J-Dub 6'5". They're all 6'5" or 6'6". It's crazy. That's the new size of guards now in the NBA, except for Brunson. Since beating the Sabres in Game 7 of the 2006 Eastern Conference Final, the Canes are 1-16 in the Eastern Conference Final, losing to the Penguins in 09, Bruins in 19, Panthers twice in 23 and 25, all but the last in sweeps. They were swept in the last one in 25. Carolina, all but the last one. So the 25 one, they weren't swept, but the other ones, they were swept. Penguins, Bruins, and Panthers swept them. So they've gone 1-16 in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Hurricanes don't do well in the Eastern Conference Finals. Keep that in mind with what I told you about Dobish's record against them. Ronaldo will play in his 6th World Cup. This guy's played in 6 as well. 06, 10, 14, 18, 22, and 26. And a 56-year-old woman fell down a manhole and died in New York City. She got out of her car in Midtown, stepped, fell into a manhole down like 20 feet, and they pulled her out dead. Unbelievable. Ryan Garcia will defend his WBC welterweight title against Conor Benn in Vegas on September 12th. That's crazy. Since 21-22, the Canadians' regular season wins 171. Eastern Conference Finals twice. Maple Leafs, 234 wins. Eastern Conference Finals appearances 0 times. They haven't won it in 57 years, the Cup. Players with 40 points and 20 rebounds in a conference or NBA Finals game in the last 25 years. Wembanyama, Shaq, and that's it. Wemby's a freak. A Memphis man has been arrested after allegedly scratching off every single scratch-off ticket at a Germantown Exxon while working the cash register. He sat there all night on his shift scratching off scratch-off tickets and blew through every one of them. The story ends up, and none of them made any money, and he got arrested. I think the most it won was $11. You lose. Make sure you keep an eye open for the profits, match profit plays in the community, and my elite and profit play snags. So we've gone on a 23, 12, and 1 tear lately. 23 tickets cashed, 12 losses, 1 push. You can't beat that. Tell your friends about Profitable.tv. Let's make some money on a Wednesday. Shake it. Ooh.